Welcome to Kermode Uncut. See this science fiction looking thing is actually a chromatic harmonica, and I know this because I recently had to play it. And we played a piece of music from a film called Le Grisby at a film noir concert that Robert Ziegler was conducting. And I started thinking about the way that, in fact, I found out about an awful lot of musical instruments through watching films. For example, I don't think I'd ever heard a theremin before I saw The Day the Earth Stood Still on television. I thought, what is that sound? What is that weird sound? And I went and checked it out, and it's a theremin. Later on, I got a theremin, which I'm still learning to play. I don't think I'd ever heard a zither before I saw The Third Man, and Anton Karaszy's famous Third Man theme, which is now actually probably the most famous bit of zither music around. Well, the other week, I was watching a film called Hostiles, which is out in cinemas at the moment, a sort of revisionist western by Scott Cooper, and it's got mixed reviews. I liked it very much, but one of the things that impressed me the most about it was the score, which is by Max Richter. Now, I'm a big fan of Richter's scores anyway, but as I was watching the film, I was hearing this noise that appeared to be coming out of the landscape that I hadn't heard before, and it was really strange. And I watched the film a couple of times, both times trying to think, what is that sound? What's making that noise? And I stayed for the end credits. And at the end, there was an instrument credited called Yabahar. I'd never heard of a Yabahar before. I imagine it was just my musical ignorance. So I went online and I looked up the Yabahar, and I got in touch with Max Richter and said, is the Yabahar the thing that's making that weird noise? Brilliantly, he responded to me and he said, yes, it is. And he described the instrument for me. Now, there are a couple of videos around of the Yabahar being played by its inventor, Görkem Sen, in Istanbul. And it's basically an acoustic instrument with springs and strings and vibrating membranes that creates a sound that kind of resonates in the way that an electronic instrument would, like a synthesizer would, but in a very unearthly and strange way. Here's some of the comments that Max Richter made when he replied to my inquiry about this. He said, I wanted the landscape to have a voice of its own, and that this voice should not be recognizable as an acoustic instrument. I also wanted to avoid anything electronic, but I was looking for something that felt abstract, alien, and other. Those are exactly the words that came to mind when I was watching the film. In my research, I came across the Yabahar. There is only one, built by Görkem Sen in Istanbul, so we headed out there to record it. As far as I know, it's not been recorded before or since. So I started watching videos of this extraordinary instrument being played. I went back, I watched Hostiles for a third time because I do really like it, and I could start to hear that strange instrument playing. Max Richter went on to say, most of the drones and sustained textures in the film are created by a combination of the Yabahar and avant-garde orchestral techniques. The orchestra acts as a kind of resonating chamber for the Yabahar and vice versa. Now, there are other instruments in there. Obviously, there's violin and cello and piano, and at one point there's a lovely song which is voice and mandolin. But it's that strange Yabahar sound in the background that really, really attracted my attention. You know, if you're a film fan, it can often be the very best education for music. You can hear about composers, you can hear about instruments, you can hear about sound design techniques, you can hear about electronic experimentation that you never would have come across had it not been for the movies. I'm a really clumsy musician, but I'm somebody who's really interested in music. I can't play the chromatica very well, or the chromonica as it's properly called, but at least I know what it is, and that's thanks to films like Midnight Cowboy and Le Grisby. I can't really play the theremin, but I know what it is, and I've now got one, and that's thanks to films like The Day the Earth Stood Still and Mars Attacks. There is only one Yabahar in the world, apparently, but I've seen the video, and I'd really like to build one.